I'm going to be separating the eye layers in this video. So as we can see, we have a layer with both of the eyes on it, and we want to have both eyes separate with all the different parts separate as well. So let's start doing that. First, I'm going to just quickly separate them. Remember Control J to duplicate or cut your selection. So now we have just one eye. And I'm going to use the pen tool and just cut out all the different parts. I like to start with the eyelashes. And then Control J and just cut. I'm also going to put this in a folder for the eye. And continue cutting. A lot of the times you'll have to imagine the shape because you can't really see it well. So that's the imagined shape that I have in my head. But it shouldn't really matter too much because it's not going to be moving a lot. And we're going to make sure to rename all those. I like to call them the lash. And I just have the same name for all of them because I'm not an organized person. And then can remove these from the main eye layer. And I like to add a backdrop so we can see stuff easier. See, we can see here that I didn't erase properly, and that's what the backdrop is for. So just erasing the parts I've already cut out. Now I'm going to draw in this part of the eye. And hold Alt and left click to get the color picker. I'm just trying to make sure it looks legit. And doesn't stand out badly. And once you have that, we're going to cut that out. Getting at the eye top. And we're going to get rid of that as well. Now we're going to do the bottom eyelid. So I like to go from whatever's in front to the back in terms of the layers of the eye. So as you can see, this eyelid is above the eyeball. and the eye white, and all the lashes were above everything. That's the order I like to follow, but it doesn't really matter too much, whatever you find easier. See, now we could separate these little lashes, but in my opinion, it's not going to make too much of a difference because you're not going to be able to see it because of how small it is. Because the animation isn't going to be zoomed in like this. It's going to be full frame like this. And you can't see the eyelashes at all. So we're not going to waste our time and effort to cut that because we don't need it. Sometimes you do. Sometimes they're bigger. I'll name this the eye bottom. Bot. I'm going to remove these little parts that stick out. And then we're going to fill it in. With the colors around it. And so I like to keep the original layer so we can put it over it and compare if we're doing well, basically. See, this part of the eye will get too soon, but just taking it one step at a time. So now I'm going to do this big lash. It doesn't have to be perfect like here. Like this line, you can see it includes some of the eyeball, but you're not going to be able to see that. So we have the main lash. And make sure everything is ordered correctly. So I'm going to put the eye top behind these. Now we are going to cut out the highlights. We have 1, 2 highlights. You can see this highlight's not perfect, but it's enough. It's not gonna show badly because it's gonna be in the eye anyway. We're gonna color this back in and up here. draw the pupil in. And sometimes the pupil is not distinct enough from the eyeball, so don't cut it out. But this illustration has it very distinct. And it's easy to cut out as well. So we're going to cut that out. And we're going to fill it in behind, just following the pattern in the background. It's getting a little tricky here because there's so many different shades of colors, but you just have to do your best. And if something doesn't look right, we can fix it up later. And now we're going to blend. Just something that looks okay, because the pupil's going to be in front of it anyway. And it's going to hide all that. Now we will do this. And I'll show you a technique I like to use. Just have to estimate where the eye would be. I'm just following the way it looks in the illustration already. And it's a little trial and error to see what looks good and legit. That looks okay. Now, see what's gonna happen is we have our eye shape, but since this layer ends there, if we cut it, we don't get the shape that we cut fully. So what I like to do is the background layer that we have, we cut that instead. And now we have the shape that we just cut. And now what we can do is we can select that. Now we can cut the eye. Hold on, let me just mute my Discord. And so now we have the eye cut in that shape, and we combine the two layers together. And now we have the shape we cut out. We can draw it in. We have to do the borders first. I'm just gonna color it in. Nothing special. And just freehand this until I like it. Like that. And then we blend the parts we colored. And that's the eyeball. Now, all we have left is the eye white. Fill it in. So it's the easiest because it's usually just white. Blend in the two colors. And there you go. Then you have your eye. We clip it. At least that's what it's called in Live2D. And that's what we'll be doing as well. Clipping the eye to the eye white. So it's only visible within it. Pupil, highlights, the eye top, main lash, eye bot, and the lashes. You can see we've separated it. Now we do the same thing for the other eye, but I'll end it off there.